Patience is a virtue, one I sorely lack. Okay, my name is Taliesin Jaffe. I'm a voice actor and voice director. I've worked on games I've directed games like Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Oculus Strip, all sorts of strange bits and pieces, and a bunch of stuff I can't talk about. And you can hear me as a voice in the Street Fighter series as Blanca, World of Warcraft, Mortal Kombat vs. DC as the Flash, some other game, lots of Final Fantasy IV as Edge, Final Fantasy XIV as Thancred, Suikoden 4, Valkyrie Profile Samaria, all over the place.
So tell us more specifically about what you do, like on a day-to-day basis, or
lie in bed questioning. Yeah, okay. It's actually one of the things I like about the job is there is no day to day. For instance, when this convention is over, I've got a day of recording for a video game, and which is mostly a full day of screaming, lots of over and over again for several hours, and then a couple days of directing a video game and just making other people do that. There's a little bit of script writing, dialogue editing, and then just sending in auditions and trying to book the next video game and get the next work, and a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons in the middle of that.
So you do script writing too. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you adapt it? Because you're probably taking from Japanese to American. And what's your process of kind of translating it and bringing it over?
Well, the anime is the most fun version of that, just because of dealing with lip flap is so fascinating. But normally we get the scripts in Japanese. It goes to our translator, who does kind of a cleanup run and translates everything, gets the most basic English script possible, sometimes with some liner notes. Then we take that and we create a colloquial version, which is more conversational English. A few idioms, making it more of an American palette, so that any references that are too complex or too obscure can be ironed out. And then after writing that, we tend to write it to fit lip flap, so we actually have to change the structure of each sentence so that it starts and stops in time with the animation that we're given.
Do you guys struggle with the time a lot? Like, more often than not?
Yeah, there's a lot of... It's very slow, it's very meticulous, and it can cause people to go crazy.
What's it like with video games? How different is that?
Video games tend to be a little looser with their scripts, in general. Also, there's a lot less lip flap in video games. There's a lot more screaming. Most video games involve a lot of yelling. You will yell for probably an hour to 2 hours in a small room, slowly going mute. I really, and there's also a few video games use motion capture, which is a lot of fun, where you'll put little tiny dots on your face and kind of do a lot of this and watch something computer generated do the same thing. It's interesting. Anime is anime, and anytime you do anime, you kind of know what you're doing. The video games are a lot broader, and there's a lot more of more often do you find something that's a little more out of the ordinary and kind of taking you to a different place. That would be the biggest difference. Is there's just the style of games for the most part.
So why
fall into it?
Why anime and video games? Is that your main focus right now?
It is, why? And it's because I'm a big nerd. It genuinely makes me happy. And it's a nice way to play parts that I want to play that I'm not physically. I'm never going to get cast as a guy in full armor on horseback screaming at an army to obey his wishes. But I get to play that. I get to do that in World of Warcraft and give great big grandiose speeches and be evil and fabulous, and that's the part I really want to play, and it's the only way. It's like the best way for me to get access to a character like that. So.
Which is your favorite line that you ever did with any character?
I don't know if I have a favorite line.
Or one that sticks in your head. Randomly pops up.
Oh god, this is loud. I enjoyed the entire recording session for Darian Mograine from World of Warcraft. He was really a lot of fun. He was very screamy, and everything he does is just this huge room filling voice that's dark, and I'm trying to think of a good Darian Mograine quote. It's just, patience is a virtue, one I sorely lack. Everything is just big. Knights of Acheris, rise! And just this fabulous, big, booming voice. I remember losing track several times. I don't know what I'm saying anymore! Lots of that.
And like, usually when you do like the lines and stuff, how often is it like exactly to script after re-recording?
Very often. Very often. We tend to stick to script. There are games where that shifts. Or where if we get everything done really, really, really fast, they'll be like, let's play around, let's see what happens, and let's get there was an online card game that we were doing recently, and it's only like 25 lines of dialogue, and we have an hour, and we get through that 25 lines of dialogue, and we're like, all right, let's just go nuts, let's just start doing things, and we actually ended up using a few of our weird outtakes for actual lines of dialogue.
So anything new and big that you want to talk about?
I'm working a little bit on we've just started production, and I'm like not yet in the thick of it yet for Vampire Hunter D. The new Vampire Hunter D series is getting underway, and I think you can just look that up with Vampire Hunter D, the series.com, I believe is the website. That's going to be really, really cool as that's going. Now I've just finally got to say that I'm in the new season of One Piece, which is very exciting. So it's Basil Hawkins, one of the pirates, and I've got a show on Geek and Sundry, on Geek and Sundry's Twitch channel every Thursday night called Critical Role, where a bunch of voice actors play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very, very proud of that. It's a lot of fun. So. Got 3 hours to kill. It's also on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube as well. So.
Do you have any fun stories you want to share about your experience, or horror stories? The
terrible things that have happened to you in your life.
Those are usually the ones that always come to mind first.
Well, I'm trying to think of one I've never told before. Beck Mongolian Chop Squad, which is a show I'm really proud of that we recorded at Funimation many years ago. One of the things that actors will do in the studio is if they know another actor is going to be coming in after them, because we record actors one at a time. Everyone comes in one at a time. So sometimes they'll just leave little Easter eggs for each other. So the two leads on Beck Mongolian Chop Squad are Brina Palencia and Greg Garris. And Brina recorded first, and we were in this episode around episode 16, I guess. Which is the first time her character and Greg's character kiss. And there's this very, very sweet kind of moment where they finally kiss. And Brina's in the booth doing it, and she's like, the character's like, oh, Koyuki. Oh yeah. And she just goes on for like a good 20 seconds of just like the most awkward makeout sound ever. Yeah. So we had that as a little. Got to watch Greg's face as he got in there for the scene. Nope. Oh yeah. I remember the oh yeah. So, I love that little bit. I wish I had a copy of it still. I've got to have it somewhere.
Oh no.
That's the fun story I can think of off the top of my head. Critical Role is my baby right now. I love Critical Role, so anybody who wants to watch that should absolutely watch Critical Role. So, either on YouTube or live every Thursday night.